Hi everyone, welcome to Hike 1 Paint 1 Episode 8. I hope you enjoy the rock that I'm leaving on this trail. Make sure to stick around to the end so you can hear my thoughts on the hike. Enjoy.
Wow, look at this. This is wild. I think I could live here. Wow. This is amazing.
Alrighty, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in doing a follow-along tutorial of the desert rock I painted at the very beginning, I'll put a card here up in the corner. Make sure you go check that out. Alright, we are going to be talking about the Guillemot Cove Nature Reserve. It is a county park here in the western part of Washington, west of the Puget Sound. So the primary hike that we're going to be talking about today is called Sawmill Trail, but the hike exactly that I did was a combination of different trails. So you start off on Sawmill, you hop on Margaret's Trail. I think Sawmill turns into Margaret's Trail. We are crossing the new bridge here, steering left to Stump House Trail, steering back right, and hopping on Beach House Trail. So it kind of created this loop in T section here that I'm going to talk you guys through. I did manage to recreate a different hike here. There's a little map build feature on all trails, and I think that's pretty neat. So what I ended up doing is basically routing the trails that I took just to kind of give you guys a rough estimate minus all the back and forth to fetch the camera, and it looks like you can do the exact same hike that I did, under 3 miles and under 300 feet of elevation gain. The only difference here is on the way back I took the park access road just because it was getting a little bit dark, but it's roughly about the same distance hopping on Sawmill. I would highly recommend doing that instead. I am going to be using the original activity to talk you guys through the hike, just to let you know what I found and where I found it. So I think the biggest thing we need to be talking about here about Sawmill Trail is at the very beginning there are going to be a lot of down trees. You're going to have to climb over some and you're going to have to go under some. Just make sure that you are capable of doing that and consider it before you hop on this trail. Now, if you don't want to do that, don't worry, you have a different option. Whenever you start the hike, if you steer here left a smidge, you can cross these little connecting trails at the very beginning of the hike that puts you directly onto the park access road. You can take that instead. They both take you down to the kiosk here at the very bottom. It's got a bunch of information and a map for you to navigate the area, and there's also a porta potty here, so that's a plus if you got to go to the restroom. So once you get down the hill of Sawmill or Park Access Road, this entire area right here that's kind of grayed out with the little triangles, that's what's considered the wetland. If I were you, I would just make sure to spend as much time as you can in this area. I saw a whole bunch of wildlife, a whole bunch of little insects and birds just minding their business. I found this area to be one of the most fascinating areas. It was very diverse and rich in life, so I would hang out there and explore the different creeks and things like that, kind of run into this area. It was really neat. Once you cross the new bridge, you're going to hit this little T section right here. That's where you're going to see that cool sign that says left to the Stump House and right to the beach. That's pretty self-explanatory. Once you kind of head down there, I did get off trail a smidge just to get a bunch of little groovy shots off the creek and things like that. So the shots of the water, the moss, the mushrooms, and things like that are all tucking along Boyce Creek here. So I definitely recommend that. At some point, I did try to cross the old bridge, but it's not really a bridge. It's more of just an old log, but it was kind of wet and that day, so I didn't even bother. It was loose too, so it was kind of sketch, so I decided not to take it. This little scramble right here is exactly where I played around and got this really kick-ass shot, in my opinion. There was just lots of dense forest in this area and very mossy, and so if you kind of want to hang out and take your time and kind of explore a little bit, I would do that. A little bit closer to the Stump House, right in this area, is where I saw that ginormous tree. So if you want to see that tree, keep your eyes peeled. It is on the way to the Stump House right before that kind of last turn. Once you actually get to the Stump House, make sure you spend a lot of time there. Make sure you go inside as well. I think it was really cool to sing and yell just to kind of hear your voice inside of it. The wood bounces it right back at you, so that was really cool and interesting to hear. So I would do that. That is where I placed that desert rock. So I just headed straight back this time, right to that little T section. Once again, I hit that sign, head towards the beach house. Now, once you actually get to the beach, there is a house, but it's pretty run down and it's boarded up and blocked off. It's kind of a sore thumb in my opinion. There was an awesome couple that I met that told me about this really groovy tree that had all the different different shells hanging on there. That was really, really awesome to see. All you have to do is just head a little bit down the beach here in this area. That's where the tree is. So they did recommend that, and that was really awesome. So I'm telling you guys now, it looks like it was a little low tide here. So it looks like I walked into the water a bit. That's not true. I didn't go swimming. It was cold. That's funny. So my absolute biggest takeaway for this hike is, in my opinion, go when it's clear. Why? Because if you look across Frenchman's Cove here, you get some pretty amazing views of the Olympic Mountains. You are surrounded by peaks. So if I were to redo this hike, I would just make sure I go on a clear day just so I can see some snow-capped peaks. So keep that in mind when you do go. If you don't, it's still really cool. The fog and ambience was pretty amazing, kind of the standard PNW feeling in my opinion. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this trail description at the end of the video, let me know in the comment section. It is my first attempt at this. I have had a lot of people ask me, they want to hear my opinions and my thoughts about the hike. This is an absolute must do. You don't have to always go to a national park. That was a lesson I learned. There's beauty all around us. You just gotta go pick it. You just gotta go do the adventure. Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching, and peace.